So this is Sherman from Smart Tree Solutions. Look at his calendar.
This is my calendar for tomorrow, guys.
Filled with estimates.
If it gets any more busy, then I'm going to have to kill myself. Because I'm not going to be able to keep up, and failure is not an option.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, this is fire. I love it.
Alright, what's up, guys? We're with Sherman over here.
How's it going, guys? Sherman from Smart Tree Solutions.
Dude, why are you holding, cut it up?
Okay, what do you want to do?
First of all, you haven't told me.
We're just gonna ask you questions.
Yeah, let me do it.
Alright.
Because I'm like, I don't know if I'm the one that's fucking up the queue or you
Yeah.
guys
No,
fucking up.
I fucked up.
Yeah, I'll start it.
I'm like, I think I missed the part of the meeting where you guys tell me what actually is going to go down.
Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm the owner of Peak Growth AI. My name is Vishay. He's the owner of Y-Scale AI. Today we are with Smart Tree Solutions. We're currently waiting for Raphael to come down. This is Sherman. He is associated with Smart Tree Solutions. And just, you know, before we kind of give everyone the whole sauce on what's been going on, I want people to know the bad side of marketing as well, because it's not like these guys signed up with us and everything went perfect. Like, no, it's not sunshine and rainbows. So he's gonna tell you the true authentic thing on how, you know, this whole thing came to be. So first thing, I wanna start off with when we first met each other, which was all the way back last year, right?
Last year.
Last year.
Last year.
Referral.
Tell them, and I'm being honest, I'm the first marketing guy that's gonna tell you this, that is not sunshine and rainbows. So tell them how the first round was. It was shit.
Well, so here's the thing. The first round, I was not as heavily involved, but I was right there for everything. So there were issues on both ends. From their end, we weren't getting the dedicated and solid and serious leads that we needed on a consistent basis. And from our end, we weren't able to handle them once they came over because communication was an issue sometimes and we had the wrong person selling. So communication is very important. They can send me all the leads I want, but if I can't convert them by having clear and proper communication, which gives me the first step in having a chance at getting that business, then it won't make a difference how good they are at their job. It's still not going to help me. So we both made changes. They made some tweaking to their funneling system, their pipeline, and we made changes on how we approach the business. And since then, I can't really say that I have a moment where I second-guessed myself or was upset that I decided to give this a second go. Because again, there was no blame put on either side. Both sides had to make changes for it to become what it is today. And today it's a well-oiled machine that just keeps running. In fact, because I'm so on top of it, sometimes it's very tiring and stressful because business comes in at all hours. And I'm literally talking to people in the middle of the night while the world is sleeping sometimes.
One thing I want to point out, like, I always emphasize, as soon as the lead comes in, you have to reach out to these guys as soon as possible. This guy, bro, I would be on my phone at like 12 a.m. I would get a screenshot message from this guy. As soon as the lead comes in, he's on top of it. And that's like, for anyone that's watching this and that are working with us currently, that's how you need to move. Because, you know, stats show 80% of the leads go cold after they're not initiated within the first 5 to 10 minutes of them submitting the form. So
my appointment tomorrow morning is a lady that had a nosebleed and that woke her up in the middle of the night. So she decided to reach out to us and show interest to us and our service at 4:55 in the morning. By 5:05, I had this lady's whole story about why she's up right now and what's going on with her and what we do. So building that relationship is very important. It doesn't even matter what time it is. If they're up to book you or they're up to inquire about you, they're up to answer your questions.
let me go
Exactly.
get
And
real quick.
another thing I wanted to point out is we're not just BSing about the 80% of chances of them picking up. There's actually a Harvard research done about this. After 2 hours, it drops down all the way to 12% of chance of them actually picking up the phone. So we're not BSing. And he's literally tried it. He's on top of it. He calls as soon as as soon as the lead comes in, because our
I don't care
system.
what time it is, because if they're up at that hour to inquire about us or book an appointment with us, then they're up enough to have a conversation about it.
Exactly, and this is the owner of Smart Tree Solutions. His name's Raphael. So how's your experience with us so far, man? Like, what do you think?
Hey, you should prepare me for this.
Just tell us what you
just
think.
talk
Just
regular.
honestly,
Again,
like,
act like
no
you're talking
cutting.
to
Feelings.
I'm
Remember
gonna stand behind you, so it's
how you felt
Yeah.
in the first round.
Wait, hold on. You
Like-
stop right now, right? You're
No,
not
no, it's
recording.
okay.
They'll
I'll
edit
cut it out.
It's
They'll
okay.
edit it. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna ask you
your
questions.
true feelings in the first round, and then us making a decision to try it one more time, but doing things differently, where I started doing the sales, and they made a just difference in their tweaking of their system.
Start it again. Start again.
I said, so start everything from the beginning. How you felt in the first round when we didn't see the results that we wanted, and then from that to us making changes on them making changes for their side, and us making changes on our side. Because at that time I wasn't selling. I was just going with you to the appointments, but I wasn't actually talking to the customers. So we both made changes, and the second round has drastically shown a difference and improvement.
I can't talk like this, man.
Okay, but
Well, I'm not
just,
asking you to talk like this.
just be like,
It's okay, I'll
when you
make it
think of
simple.
us, when you think of me, I ask you, how's it going, man?
Let
What
me
do you
ask
Don't
think?
worry about your accent. Most people in the tree business are Hispanic, so you're not.
Yeah, yeah.
It
I'm
doesn't
the only
matter.
one that's out of the freaking character. You're
So-
fine.
So just, I'm asking you, how was the experience?
Let me ask. I have a list of questions I can. Or
This
you
is
just
basic
go
overview.
Go through it.
So,
Start with before, and then start with like.
all right.
Let me hold.
So, Rafael, just tell us how was your experience like before working with us and after working with us, like just honest opinion.
So in the beginning, I said, why not trying, a different
Yeah.
way to do business? And so I met you guys, and I tried the first time, it didn't work for me. So, but the second time, I feel like everything's going well,
Yeah.
and I hope it keeps going like this, so we can keep working, like
Yeah.
together, and to climb the hill.
Yeah. Yeah. And what made you want to like take that risk of giving us a second shot?
Yeah, most people wouldn't give us a second shot.
Yeah.
What made you want to come back and be like, hey, let's give this another shot?
So I was thinking maybe we were doing something wrong, and that's why I asked you guys if we can do some changes
Yeah, funnel and everything.
on the funnel, yeah. And
Right.
so you guys were asking me what we can do. I give you some suggestion,
Yeah.
and also, I took some suggestions from other people,
Right.
and I think the changes that you guys did, like they're working very well right now,
Right.
and I'm very happy, to be working with you guys, and I hope everything goes well.
Yeah. Very
And-
glad.
Before working with us, like, what was your business like? Like, how were you getting work coming in? Was it word of mouth, referrals? What were you doing?
So most likely were referrals, but when you get referrals, you don't work every day, like how we are working now. Like every week, we are doing estimates with my partner, and
Yeah.
we catching some jobs, and it's like 90%, 100, almost 100% better than referrals, like.
Yeah. And another question that I want to ask you is that some of these people think that lead is always the issue. They think like communication, all that doesn't matter. It just lead needs to be good. So what do you have to say about that? Sherman, I would also like you to answer this.
So communication, as he said, is very important.
Exactly.
Listen, you can get all the solid leads you want, but this is not something that they're paying you to cut their grass. This is a big job that involves some risk and involves a lot of money. So they're not just going to hire you because you came in and they were a solid lead. Sometimes you have to build that relationship, and that only happens through communication. I'm on top of my customers. If we're running late, if we're changing anything, they literally know about it the minute I know about it. And if you read our reviews, that's one of the things that everybody talks about, that these guys communicate really well and they keep you in the loop about everything. Anything changes, my customer knows the moment I find out. And all that stuff is always going to be helpful and more beneficial. You can get all the solid leads you want, but if you want a higher conversion rate, then building that relationship is everything.
Yeah. And what are like the other things that you changed in your business, like on the second time that?
Well,
made-
again, I wasn't selling. I was just going with him so I could start understanding and learning the process. But I wasn't talking to the customers. I
Right.
was never introduced to the people. He dealt with them. And again, that's where the clear communication thing comes in.
Right.
Because sometimes people, if they don't understand your accent, they're ashamed to say it. So they won't say anything, but that also becomes a problem because then you don't understand each other when you guys are trying to have a conversation about something that's going
Right.
to cost you a lot of money, and it's a serious thing that you're about to do. So that doesn't help.
Right.
So sometimes that ends up becoming the reason that the lead ended up going cold and they ended up going with somebody
Right.
else. So by eliminating that, now being that I speak multiple languages, that always helps because I can, accommodate a lot more variety of people, even if they don't speak English. So that's a bonus, but that's not absolutely necessary. As long as your English is good and your communication skills are good, and you're willing to just start a conversation with people.
Yeah.
Find out what else is going on in their life besides the fact that they need a tree cut. Why do they need the tree cut?
Right.
Or instead of just treating them like customer number next, customer number next.
Right.
And because again, when you build a relationship, that's how you get your repeat customers.
Right. Yeah.
Whether they have one other tree or 10 other trees or 100 other trees. But that's how you build your repeat customers because you're not just a vendor to them anymore. You've built a personal relationship.
Right. And tell me about the quality. Like, how is the lead quality, the appointment quality? What did you like?
At this point, I would say it's running at about 98% on the clean and good side. Not everybody's ready to do it tomorrow, but I don't need them to be. As long as they're all serious tree service need people, and they're not just lollygagging because they have too much time on their hand and they're bored.
Right.
So 98% I would say are on spot on the money. Whether they're doing it the same day, we've booked people, we've gone and seen them and booked them for the same day before.
Right.
It started happening recently. I think we're at 3 that we went and saw and did the job the same day. But that's increasing also.
Yeah.
So the number of, I would say, duds or people that are wasting our time, 2% if that.
Right.
And that 2% I'm saying because I'm going on the furthest end of the spectrum. I would say more like anywhere between 1 and 2%. Because it's that minuscule.
Right.
That's why I said that obviously you guys have made changes on your end as well, because I could be the best salesman in the world, but if a little more of a screening process wasn't tuned up on your end, and we started getting more solid people that were serious about getting it done, then me being the greatest salesman wouldn't help if the guy's not serious and he's just wasting our time. So that's why I said it was a team effort from both sides, and that's what was allowing us to completely turn the whole business around. Because after the first trial, me and him talked, and like I said, I was there for the whole thing. I just wasn't upfront with the customers, so they never saw me or talked to me. But I was kept in the loop about everything. So after the first round, he was pretty discouraged.
Yeah.
And so then we just were doing the jobs as referrals came in. But then he asked me, he said, should we give it another try? I said, look, I can't see it hurting.
Yeah.
Only 2 things can happen. Either nothing changes or it gets better. But I can't see it hurting.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't see why not, as long as we can come to an agreement where we can tweak some things that I saw from the first time that need, refining. So we're eliminating a lot of the crap and not having to sweep it out of the way to get to the good stuff.
Right.
And since we were both able to do that, and that's your guys' flexibility in being able to work with the customer and not being set in your ways and saying, nah man, my system works, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how to convert it into business.
Right.
So some people, again, egotistical people, will stick to their guns and say, no, this is my system always works, and you're the problem.
Right.
Instead of trying to understand that maybe the customer does have a good point, and maybe we can do something, because clearly this was turned around all the way.
Exactly.
So there's no reason that you can't get something to work. You just have to tweak it and you have to work at it.
Exactly. So nothing's perfect. Literally, no marketing agency is perfect. You guys need to work together in order for both of you to grow. Like, for example, in this case, like first try wasn't really good. It wasn't just because it was our fault or their fault. We
both had changes to make,
exactly.
And we both had to make those changes so the company could grow on both ends, their company and ours. Because the more successful we become and their other customers become, the more successful they become. So it goes hand in hand.
Exactly. And the more you communicate with us, the more we can help you. If you don't communicate and if you just tell us, oh, the leads are bad, and if you don't tell us why they're bad, then of course you're gonna stuck where you're at. Like, for example,
we can't help you if we don't know what your problem is.
Exactly.
Leads are bad is not a problem that can be solved. Why the leads are bad is a problem that can be solved.
Exactly.
So once you communicate to your marketing company why you feel that the leads are bad. See, I had a clear plan. I knew what the problem was, so I told them I don't know how to do the tweaking in your system. That's why you're gonna do it. But I think that these are the changes that need to be made. I came with a clear plan, and they were just able to execute it and make it work. But again, you need to know exactly what's wrong with your leads. You can't just come in saying the leads are bad, because we're not mind readers and they're not mind readers. So for anyone to help you, you could have a neighbor that's a tree service expert, and he's been doing it a long time. But even for you to ask him and get a proper answer that's going to help you, you need to know what you're asking him.
Exactly.
Leads are bad is not a problem that can be solved,
Right.
unless and until you figure out why the leads are bad or why you think the leads are bad. And is there anything you can do on your end so that you don't keep thinking the leads are bad because you're also doing something wrong? We can make changes on our end like they did for us, but we also made changes on our end. We couldn't have expected them to fix everything because the problem was on both sides.
Exactly.
So that's why you have to work together and communicate. Again, just like how I say, communicate with your customers, communicate with your marketing guys, communicate with all your vendors. Because they can't read your mind, and if you're having an issue, just you telling them you're having an issue can't help them solve it. They have to know what the issue is so they can, based on their expertise and their level of knowledge in the field, they can tell you based on their past experiences, oh, this has happened before, it might be because of this, and then you can work on fixing it. But again, you have to have a starting point.
Exactly.
Bad leads is not a starting point, because that tells me nothing, besides the fact that you didn't have a good experience or you couldn't convert.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh, do you have any other question?
Let me see.
Tracy?
Alright, here, just take it.
Alright, so another question that I had to ask is that, would you guys recommend us to anyone? Like,
Considering this went from a failure to a complete success, I think it kind of promotes itself. But yeah, of course I would.
perfect.
If I was able to benefit from your guys' work ethics and way of working and the quality of work you guys put into your customers' business improvements, then why wouldn't I want others that I know to benefit from that?
Right.
This is
Like
not-
you guys, you guys are offering something that other marketing people they are not offering, like giving you a free week, trial.
Yeah.
I asked one time, to a guy if they offer a free trial. And then he told me this is not a flea market,
Yeah.
And then that's a good thing
Well, that's
for
why
you
we
guys.
get our business.
So that's why I was telling my friend, try these guys. You have nothing to lose. You're just gonna pay the first week of ads, like $50 a day, $350
Yeah.
per week. I mean, the first week of trial,
Yeah.
and you can tell, if it's gonna work or not. We can help you,
Exactly.
calling the customer. Well, he can help us.
I
He
told
said
them that I could.
he don't mind to
I don't mind
help.
to spend
Yeah,
some of my day.
Call the customer, qualify the customer, ask him what he
Pre-qualify
needs.
his customers and get their
So
basic
that's very
needs,
important.
what the project is.
Pre-qualify the
And then
customer.
he can explain it to him in Spanish, and then at least when the guy gets there, even if his English is broken, at least he'll have a basic understanding of what they need done in Spanish. So when they're talking to him, he's already going to kind of sort of have an idea of what the hell's going on.
Right.
That's what the other thing that makes me give you guys another chance, because I told Chairman, you think they're gonna give us another week of trial, because that was a different year, last year
Yeah.
and this year. So he told me it doesn't hurt to ask, and
Again,
you guys were agreeing.
There's no harm in asking, because you're not going to kill me because I asked. You're just going to say no or yes. One or two things are going to happen.
Yeah.
And if you say no, then that's fine. And if you say yes, then that answers that question.
Right.
Again, because I remember when you guys told me if this is gonna work, it's gonna work for both, for me
Yeah.
and for you guys. So if I'm not making money, you guys are not making money,
That
So-
you can't brag about the success stories if they don't have the success stories.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's important for them to even have bragging rights in the industry that they have more success stories than the next guy.
Yeah.
As he said, we're not planning, we're not thinking to be millionaires, but to have some money for living, like pay your
Yeah.
bills and.
That's why
That's
we
why-
always aim to offer excellent service at reasonable prices, because people shouldn't have to break their bank and lose all their savings if they end up having a tree emergency and need a tree cut. Because yes, it is a very expensive task. It's a very grueling task and requires a lot of planning and logistics, and sometimes equipment rentals and sometimes just people. But at the same time, we're not doing this to become millionaires, so we're never going to take a customer for a ride, whether they have the money or they don't. And usually when they don't have it, our heart's usually even, you know, more inclined to be like, all right, you know what, we'll do it for cheaper just because they're not going to be able to afford it with another company. Because most companies don't work from the heart, they work from the brain. Mathematics and profits, quarterly numbers, those are the things that matter to those guys. We're not in it for those reasons. So again, we're not going to do it for free or lose money, but we're not going to take anybody for a ride. We're going to do it for a fair price and do the best job possible and not negotiate on the quality of work. Because some people will give you a cheaper price just to get the business because you bargain with them, but then they'll also give you that kind of quality of work because they had to take a lower fee. And that's something that should be told to you before you agreeing for them to come out and do it. But if that's something that they just do automatically without telling you and hope that you don't recognize, then that's wrong. So we're not in that business. No matter what the price is that we both agree on, we've obviously agreed to that price, so no matter how low we may think of it in hindsight, we've already made the deal. So our quality of work will not diminish and you'll get the same service that you would have gotten had we not negotiated the price down.
Another thing I want to mention, not only we work with tree services businesses, we also work with contractors, general contractors. If you do bathroom remodel, concrete, whatever you do, we work with you guys like specifically in construction niche. All right, so that's that. Yeah, open it. All right, so I mean that was pretty much it. I think that was good enough.
All right. Well, like I said, I could talk for hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, yo, you must love hearing yourself talk because you don't ever shut the fuck up. I'm like, well,
Sometimes, you know, he's calling the customer, they start talking about their life.